You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Sunday, May the 17th, 2020. Starting with this American League East game, the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Baltimore Orioles. Final score 4-1. The Orioles got the lead in the top of the sixth, but didn't keep it for long. The Rays took a lead in the bottom of the sixth, tacked on two more in the eighth, and ended up winning. Brendan McKay got the win, John Means got the loss, and Nick Anderson earned his 15th save of the season. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Chicago White Sox again. Final score of this game, 5-4. The Blue Jays, with this win, split the series with the White Sox at 2 games apiece, and the series between these two is now over. Chase Anderson got the win, Lucas Giolito got the loss, just his second of the season, and Ken Giles now has 9 saves. The Twins and Indians played each other. AL Central game here. The Twins won by a score of 7-1. They got 4 runs early, tacked on 2 in the 5th, and 1 in the 9th. The Indians could only score in the bottom of the 4th. Jake Odorizzi got the win, and Zach Plesac got the loss. The Tigers and Mariners played each other, and the Tigers won by a score of 11-4. The Tigers came out early, scoring 3 runs in the top of the first, put on a couple more insurance runs, one in each the 4th and 5th innings. The Mariners put up 3 in the 5th, got a run in the 7th, but the Tigers pulled away with the game with a 5-run top of the 7th. Jordan Zimmerman got the win, and Taijuan Walker got the loss. The Oakland Athletics played the Los Angeles Angels. This an American League West game, and the Athletics won. Final score 4-2. The Angels scored first, but then the Athletics had a 3-run 6th inning and did not relinquish the lead after that point. Mike Fiers got the win. Tyler Glasnow got the loss. And Liam Hendricks now has 19 saves on the season. That's a new Major League Baseball lead. You'll see that in the League Leaders segment. The Los Angeles Dodgers played the Kansas City Royals. This an interleague game, and the Royals were able to win. Final score 5-3. Danny Duffy got the win, Alex Wood got the loss, and Ian Kennedy now with 6 saves on the season. The Boston Red Sox and Texas Rangers played each other. The Rangers got a run in the 4th inning, and that was all that was needed. This game was even for the majority of the game. The Red Sox, no runs, 5 hits, 1 error. The Rangers, 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. Mike Minor got the win. Martin Perez got the loss, his 7th of the season. And Jose Leclerc with 11 saves on the year now. The New York Yankees played the Houston Astros. Final score of this game was 8-3. The Yankees scored all 3 of their runs in the 1st inning and had the lead up until the 7th when the bullpen gave up 5 runs. Tommy Kahnle was issued the loss because of that 7th inning. The Astros got 2 more runs in the 8th, but they had the lead all the way through. Ryan Presley now with 3 saves on the season. He earned that with the Astros. The Rockies and Marlins played each other. Final score 5-1. The Rockies got 15 hits in this game, and the Rockies progressively getting better as the season moves forward. Their April wasn't great, but their May is looking good. Germán Marquez got the win, and Sandy Alcantara got the loss. The biggest offensive game of the year was held between these two NL Central teams. The final score, the Reds 16, the Brewers 14. Yeah, I don't even need to summarize the line score. You can see all the crooked numbers in it. The Brewers 14 runs, 20 hits, and the Reds 16 runs, 18 hits. Matt Bowman got the win. Raisel Iglesias got the save. He's got 10 now in the year. Just a tremendous amount of offense in this one. The Phillies and Cardinals played each other, and the Cardinals won. Final score 3-1. This game took extra innings to complete, or 1 extra inning to be more specific. But the Phillies got a run in the 7th, took the lead. The Cardinals tied the game almost immediately in the top of the 8th, and then it went to extras. The Cardinals got 2 runs and won the ball game. John Brebbia got the win, and Giovanni Gallegos earned his 18th save of the season. Mets 9, Pirates 0. That's the final of this one. Jacob deGrom threw a complete game shutout. Derek Holland was a part of the losing effort in this one. The Mets offense helped out deGrom. They got 3 runs in the 1st inning, and that was it. Rest is history. They scored in each of the first 4 innings, put up a run in the 6th, won the game 9-0. The Nationals and Diamondbacks played each other. The Diamondbacks won 3-1's the final score of this game. Kevin Ginkel got the win. Hunter Strickland got the loss. Archie Bradley is now in double digits for saves. He has 10. The Padres beat the Cubs. Final score 5-2, and the Padres came out early with offense. A 3-run 2nd inning helped them take an early lead, and a 2-run 5th pushed across some insurance that it needed. Cubs got 2 runs on the top of the 8th, and that was it for their offense. Garrett Richards got the win, Kyle Hendricks got the loss, and Kirby Yates now has 15 saves on the season. And the Atlanta Braves played the San Francisco Giants, and the Giants' losing streak is over after winning this game, though it didn't look like a sure win for the Giants. The Braves got 3 runs in the first 3 innings, and they had the lead up until the 7th, but then the Giants put up a 4-run 7th inning, put up a run in the 8th, and won by the score of 5-3. Tony Watson is in double digits now for saves. He has 10 on the season. Observing standings now, starting with the American League East, the New York Yankees continue to lead. Their record is 27-20. The Orioles are a game and a half back. The Orioles lost to the Rays today. They've lost 2 in a row now, and they could not capitalize on the Astros beating the Yankees today. They're 25-21. The Rays have pulled within a half game of the Orioles. They're 2 games back of the whole division. 26-23 is their record. They've won 2 in a row against the Orioles, and they're close to second place now. The Blue Jays are 22-25. They're 5 games back of the Yankees. They've won 2 in a row. And the Red Sox lost today. They're 21-27, 6.5 games back of the Yankees, though they've won 6 of their last 10 games. In the American League Central, the Chicago White Sox are 32-15. They still lead, though they've lost 2 in a row. The Twins are catching up. They've pulled to within a game of the White Sox. They're 31-16. They're on a 5-game winning streak. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. The Indians are 25-24, though they've lost 6 in a row, and they've lost 7 of their last 10 games. The Tigers are in 4th place with a 16-31 record. They're 16 games back, though they won today. And the Royals also won today. They're 13-33, now 18.5 games back of first place. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics are 31-17. They're still the leaders. They've won 10 of their last 10 games. The Astros, 27-20. They're 3.5 games back, though they beat the Yankees today. The Rangers are 20-27. They're 10.5 games back. They won today. The Angels are 19-26. They're also 10.5 games back. They've lost 3 in a row, though. And the Mariners are 19-30. They lost today. They're 12.5 games back of the Athletics for first place. In the National League East, the Washington Nationals continue to lead. Their record is 28-18. And 4 of the 5 teams in this division lost today, so nobody really moved. The Phillies still a game back of the Nationals. They're 27-19. The Braves are 25-22. They're 3.5 games back. The Marlins are 24-23. They're 4.5 games back. And the Mets, the only team to win today in this division, they beat the Pirates. They're now 20-26 and 8 games back of the division. In the National League Central, the St. Louis Cardinals are 24-23. They continue to lead. The Reds have won 4 in a row. They're a game back of the Cardinals with a 23-24 record. They won a huge offensive game today against the Brewers. The Brewers have now lost 4 in a row. They're 23-25. They're a half game back of the Reds, and they're 1.5 games back of the Cardinals. They're in 3rd place. The Cubs are in 4th place with a 22-26 record. They've lost 3 in a row now. And the Pirates are 16-29. They're 7 games back of the division lead. They've lost 2 in a row. And in the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 29-16. They continue to lead, though they lost today. The Padres have gotten hot. They've moved up to 2nd place now. They're 26-21, 4 games back on a 3-game winning streak. The Diamondbacks won today. They're 25-22. They're 5 games back of the Dodgers. The Rockies are 20-26, 9.5 games back of the division lead. They won today. And the Giants broke their large losing streak. They're 18-29 now. They're 12 games back of the NL West lead. And taking a look at league leaders now, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. Michael Brantley is the batting average leader now. Miguel Cabrera second best with a 372, and Chris Davis third best with a 368. In the National League, David Dahl, his average went up to 387. That's still the league best. Nicholas Castellanos is at 348, second best, and Corey Seager's at 344. That rounds out the top 3. Hits leaders in the American League, Jose Abreu has 71, Chris Davis 68, Miguel Cabrera and Miguel Andujar tied for third best with 67. In the National League, Jonathan Villar, the only NL player with over 60 hits, he's at 65. Paul Goldschmidt and Ronald Acuna Jr. tied for second best with 57. At bat leaders in the American League, Miguel Andujar close to 200, but not quite there after today. He's at 199, trailed by Jose Abreu, who has 198. In the National League, Jonathan Villar is at 195, and it's not even close. The next best is Ozzie Albies, who has 181 at-bats. Doubles leaders in the American League, Miguel Andujar has 18, and then there's a four-way tie for second best. Jose Iglesias, Jose Abreu, Anthony Rendon, and Marcus Semien all have 17. In the National League, Jonathan Villar's at 21. He's the only National League player over 20. Christian Yelich second best, 3 behind Villar with 18, and Trey Turner's at 17. That rounds out the top 3. Triples leaders in the American League, Jose Altuve has 5. And there's a tie for second. Whit Merrifield, Oscar Mercado, Nico Goodrum, and Adalberto Mondesi all have 3. In the National League, Jonathan Villar and Chris Bryant still at the top of the triples board. They each have 5. There's 3 players tied for third best. Andrew McCutchen, Trey Turner, and Victor Robles all have 4 triples. Home run leaders in the American League, there's a new one. Josh Donaldson has passed Chris Davis. Donaldson now has 19 home runs on the season. Chris Davis still is at 18, and that's now good for second best. And Matt Olson, his teammate, third best with 17. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr.'s at 17. That's the league lead. Max Muncy 2 behind Acuna Jr. with 15, and Paul Goldschmidt rounds out the top 3. He has 13. RBI leaders in the American League, Austin Meadows has passed Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Austin Meadows now the league leader with 48. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. still at 46. And Jose Abreu, third best, 45 is his total. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt, the first of 40. Christian Yelich and Max Muncy, 5 behind him. They're tied for second best with 35. Runs scored leaders in the American League, Yohan Moncada has 39. Jose Abreu and Matt Olson are at 38. They're tied for second best. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr., the only player in the NL with over 40. He's at 41 runs scored this season. Stolen base leaders in the American League, D. Gord and Mike Trout at the top. They have 10. Adalberto Mondesi, third best with 9. In the National League, Starling Marte still the leader with 21. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Trey Turner tied for second best with 12. Walks leaders in the American League, Alex Bregman has 31. That is the American League lead. Rhys Hoskins with 34. That's the National League lead. On-base percentage leaders, Michael Brantley, the leader in the AL with a 451. Miguel Cabrera, second best with a 443. And Mike Trout, third best with a 438. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has a 429. That leads. Dansby Swanson, 8 points behind him with a 421. And Christian Yelich and Paul Goldschmidt each at 420. They have some variation. Yelich just a bit above Goldschmidt for third best. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League. Chris Davis has a 730 slugging percentage. Josh Donaldson's at a 693. That's good for second best. And Mike Trout, third best, with a 686. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. still leads. He has a 734 slugging percentage. Christian Yelich at a 677. And Corey Seager rounds out the top 3 with a 656. OPS leaders. Chris Davis is the leader. Mike Trout, second best. Michael Brantley is the third best. Those 3 are still above 1,000, as are a few players in the AL. In the National League, there's 5 players with an OPS into the thousands. Ronald Acuna Jr. is the leader, though, with a 1.163 OPS. Moving on to pitching statistics. We'll start with win leaders in the American League. Asher Wojciechowski, Jake Odorizzi, Gio Gonzalez, and Lucas Giolito right now at the league best with 6 wins. In the National League, Walker Buehler, the only one in the NL with 6 wins, and there's a huge list now of players who are tied for second best who have 5 wins. Losses leaders in the American League, Asher Wojciechowski, Mike Minor, Reynaldo Lopez, and Kenta Maeda remain undefeated among pitchers who qualify for this leaderboard. In the National League, there are no players undefeated. There is a 6-way tie for first. Caleb Smith, Sonny Gray, Trevor Bauer, Walker Buehler, Kevin Gausman, and Zach Eflin all tied with 1 loss on the season. And saves leaders in the American League, somebody's passed Brad Hand, and it's Liam Hendricks who has 19 saves now. Brad Hand hasn't gotten a save opportunity in quite a while, so he's still at 18 saves. That's good for second best. And Michael Givens and Roberto Ozuna tied for third best with 16. In the National League, Giovanni Gallegos has 18 saves. Sean Doolittle second best with 16, and Kenley Jansen and Kirby Yates tied for third best with 15. Earned run average leaders in the American League. Jordan Zimmerman of the Tigers is the new ERA leader. He has a 2.23 ERA. Zach Plesac was the former leader, but his outing against the Twins today caused his ERA to go up, so he settles now for third best. Brad Peacock of the Astros, second best with a 2.29. In the National League, Walker Buehler, 1.84 ERA. He's the only pitcher now in baseball with an ERA under 2. Mike Soroka, second best with a 2.04, and Caleb Smith, third best with a 2.19. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers. Gio Gonzalez, just 2 home runs allowed. That's the league best. Garrett Richards in the National League, same story. He's allowed 2, and he is the league leader. Shutouts among American League pitchers. Garrett Cole has 2, as does Masahiro Tanaka. They're still at the top. In the National League, Jacob deGrom, Zach Wheeler, and Walker Buehler have all pitched 2 shutouts now. Jacob deGrom pitched a shutout against the Pirates today, which earns him his second of the year and earns him a top spot on this leaderboard. Strikeout leaders in the American League. Garrett Cole's at 80, Lucas Giolito's at 75, Carlos Carrasco's at 74. That's the top 3. In the National League, Steven Strasburg, the first NL player to 80. Robbie Ray and Clayton Kershaw tied for second best with 77. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers. Garrett Cole and Masahiro Tanaka each at 2. Jacob deGrom threw a complete game shutout against the Pirates today, so he now has 2. That's tied for second best with Walker Buehler. Zach Wheeler's thrown 3 complete games. That's the NL lead. Innings pitched among American League pitchers. Garrett Cole's at 67 and a third innings pitched. That leads all AL pitchers. In the National League, Jacob deGrom's at 67 and 2/3 innings. That leads all NL pitchers. Walks allowed in the American League. Carlos Carrasco's at 8. He's the only AL pitcher in single digits, and he is the league leader. Alex Wood, now at 10 walks. He's tied with Mike Leake for the league best. Whip leaders in the American League. Zach Plesac went from a .96 now to a .99. Still the only pitcher in the AL with a whip under 1. In the National League, Anthony DeSclafani is at a .95. That's still the league lead, and he's the only NL pitcher under 1. Pitching war among American League pitchers. Carlos Carrasco, 1.7. Shane Bieber, 1.6. Eduardo Rodriguez, Jake Odorizzi, and Garrett Cole in some variation of 1.5. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has a pitching war of 2, one of the first pitchers to reach a war over 2 this season. Chris Archer, 1.9, and Robbie Ray, 1.6. American League batting war leaders. Mike Trout's at a 3.3. Marcus Semien above 3. He's at somewhere around a 3, just a little bit over. Michael Brantley and Alex Bregman, 2.9. They're third and fourth best, both Astros. And in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr., 3.7. Christian Yelich, 3.2. Jonathan Villar getting closer to 3, but not quite there yet. He's at some variation of 2.9. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Sunday, May the 17th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's Virtual Network.